This is a Blairing Out with Eric Blair show. Tonight, interviewing rockers on the red carpet for the 4th annual Ronnie James Dio Stand Up and Shout Cancer Fund's Bowl for Ronnie event.
Blairing Out! How are you, brother?
The man, the myth, the legend.
Ah, there's no myth or legend. It's just me.
How has this tour with Sons of Apollo, successful tour, changed your life?
Well, it changed my life in the fact that it showed me at the age of 52, it's actually possible to reinvent yourself. Oh my God. No, the tour was amazing. And it did give me hope that a band like this could actually make waves and actually do something in this day and age, because you know what it's like out there. Rock and roll has got you got to carve your own path. You can't just rely on the fact of where you came from, what you did before. And the fact that we were able to do that with this band means a lot.
What are the plans for the future of Sons of Apollo?
We are going in for album number 2 in January. And I don't think the album's going to see the light of day until the early 2020, because we can't tour next year. So we want to save it for when we can tour. And it doesn't make sense to put the album out and not support it. So I think 2020 is when the new album and the next tour is going to be.
Plans during the downtime?
Well, as everybody knows, everybody in this band has a bunch of different other outlets and different things they do. So everybody's going back to their usual routines and rituals, because without doing that, they won't be able to commit another year with Sons of Apollo like we were able to do this year.
Were you surprised by the success?
You can't say surprised, because in general, you kind of expect it based on the pedigree that's in this band. But again, it doesn't mean a lot. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen, because a lot of supergroups out there, a lot of these pairings and matchings, and it's not an automatic thing. You still, like I said, you still have to find your way. You still have to carve your way. And luckily, we got past that point. I think the next time we come out, people are going to see us as the entity that it actually deserves to be.
What were fans saying to you on the road?
Well, in general, I think the consensus in the beginning was, I don't think this is real. I don't think it's going to last. I don't know if this is going to be a real band, if it's going to be a real entity. And I think people were expecting it to just kind of dissipate. And the fact that we just came off a very successful 2018 tour, I think the next time around, they're going to see that we actually did grow. We grew as well as they're going to expect the next level of where we're going to take it to. So it was more of a, the beginning stage, it was more of like, let's go check this out, because I don't know if this is real. And when they walked out of there, believe me, they knew it was real.
Do you think as a unit that you've become closer musically?
Well, yeah, I mean, that comes by the trials and tribulations of playing together, learning each other's chemistry on stage, the show kind of becoming and forming. All those things have to happen with the amount of time that you put onto a tour. You can't build that by just going on the road for 2 or 3 weeks and say, okay, now we have the nucleus of the band. It took us months to finally reach that position where we actually feel like we could just go out there blind right now and be able to kill it. Because, you know, again, the pedigree in this band is so rich. Everybody's at the top of their game, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work. On paper, it's unbelievable, but in reality, doesn't mean it's going to happen. And we made it happen. Is
there any new direction you want to go with the songwriting in the future?
Well, we proved that we can pretty much do anything. So I would like to see us do a little more of anything, as opposed to just what's expected of us. And I think we're going to be able to pull that off on the next record.
So you're okay with getting more progressive?
I don't think we need to be. And that's again, what I love about this band is where it came from. We went out and proved we could play virtually anything. Now I think it's time for us to kind of prove, like what Queen and Van Halen did when they proved that they were the baddest in the land. They could tap into other things that you wouldn't expect them to do. And I think that's the next step for Sons of Apollo.
Now, what's the next step for Jeff Scott Soto?
Well, because I have pretty much 2019 off after we record the new album. Got a new Soto album we're working on that's coming out around springtime. Pushing for the tour. I'm gonna just follow up with Soto, because that was a dream of mine that I've been pushing since 2015. We did 2 records. We unfortunately lost our bass player David Z last year, but now we're back. We've got a new bass player, Tony Dickinson, in the band. So I want to prove again, the same as Sons of Apollo, that it wasn't just let's see if it happens, doesn't happen, we'll walk away, try something new. No, I'm going to keep chiseling at this because I know we got something here.
Have you won over any new fans that weren't aware of your greatness?
Come on. I'm assuming, yes. I'm assuming in the sense of I was playing in front of those guys' fans. And of course, I had a few of mine that were curious and came to the shows. But for the most part, I think I picked up what those guys were bringing in that normally weren't following me. So I'm hoping to see the residuals of that. I think we're all going to see the residuals of that from this whole situation.
What did you think of Yngwie's comment about he didn't need a lead singer and that he's singing his own songs now?
I think he's right. He doesn't need a lead singer. He doesn't even need a band. He can do everything himself, and God bless him for it. I'm not going to fall into the whole fodder of anti-Yngwie and putting him down the way he seems to be putting everybody else down. If that's what he wants, God bless him. Follow that path. I'm doing my own thing.
No, we like Yngwie. Yeah. It's just Yngwie is famous for making these really powerful statements.
Comments. Yeah. Well, again, I can't read into his head, and there really is no relationship left between us, unfortunately. I would like there to be. I don't like enemies in the world. I don't like unrest. I want peace and love. I want everybody we're a brotherhood, especially in the music business. It's supposed to be a brotherhood. I want everybody to get along, and hopefully someday we will patch things up. For now, it's broken, and God bless him, just do what he's doing.
Now, speaking of being a brotherhood, I guess you heard about Oz Fox.
Yeah.
Have you reached out to him?
Absolutely. Well, my buddy Howie Simon was the one that got to fill in for him for those shows, and Howie was handpicked by Oz to fill in for those shows. So, again, situations happen to us in life where we're down and out, but we have people that can kind of pick up the pieces for us until we can get back on our feet. And thank God he was able to do that, and he's back, and Oz is such a great guy. I love the guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. It's just really sad. Cancer, that's why we're here tonight, to fight cancer.
We're all affected by it, man. Everybody's here for the Ronnie portion of this whole cause. But in reality, we're all affected by it, whether it's a family member or even ourselves. We're all affected by this. So anything that we can do or anything that anybody can do to continue to support this, it's very important. Cancer is a monster, but we're here to crush the monster.
Yeah. Now, did you ever listen to the Dehumanizer album by Black Sabbath?
I did not, unfortunately. I think I might have heard one or two songs from it, but overall, by then I was so busy, and still today I'm so busy doing my own stuff. I'm missing a lot of what's happening in metal and what's happening with some of the new releases. I'm missing a lot. And one of my, I guess, bucket list things is to kind of catch up with what's going on in modern music and even some of the bands that my contemporaries are releasing. I'm missing the boat on a lot of things because I'm just so damn busy.
How's the family life for you? Your wife is beautiful.
She's beautiful and she's very patient. She gets to basically loan me to whoever I'm on tour with, especially when I'm out with Soto, but Sons of Apollo, she had to kind of loan me out for 7 months this year. And then I'm only here for a week. I just got home 4 days ago. I leave next week for a TSO for another 2 months. So not only a beautiful woman, but a beautiful woman inside to be able to kind of release me, let me do what I'm supposed to do, and make sure that the fort's held down back at home.
One of the things that Ronnie James Dio talked about in the Dehumanizer record, there was a song on there called Computer God.
Okay.
And in interviews, he was not worried, but saying that the computers were becoming the gods of humanity. What is your view on that?
Well, he wasn't wrong. I mean, technology, everything from the smartphones, the iPad to it's consumed our lives. It's over-consumed our lives. So in general, he wasn't wrong. It's the wave of the future based on these devices and technology making life easier for us, but also kind of overtaking humanity. So he wasn't wrong.
Do you fear artificial intelligence?
I don't. I fear not being able to keep a grip on it. I say go for the highest levels of technology as long as we are on top of it. Because obviously they made way too many movies where it takes over humans, and once we lose it, we're screwed.
They're saying, the scientists are saying it will become self-aware at some point.
Well, at some point, yeah, they're even saying computers will have feelings. It sounds strange, but they're making everything to the point where they can feel what people are feeling because there's so much technology behind it. So you never know. I probably won't be around to have to worry about it. Our poor kids, right? Hopefully they're the smart ones that will know how to deal with it and how to contend with it. Because obviously, you know, we grew up with the Flintstones and, you know, Frosted Flakes and the simpler way of life of going out in the street and playing with your friends. It's not that anymore. So it's up to them to be able to keep a grip on it all.
How do you keep a grip on it all in this fast-paced technology?
Man, every day I curse the fact that I'm as old as I am because I'm going to be missing some really cool stuff that's going to be coming up. And I want to be around for some of the cool stuff that's on its way. I love technology.
The cool stuff that's on its way is already here, and it's Jeff Scott Soto!
Right on, Eric.
All right, man.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Jeff. God bless you,
got it,
brother.
Eric. God bless you, too.
The Blairing Out Show.